Now for the arms. For the arms, we're going to start off with a magic ring. Take your 2 fingers, yarn over twice. Take your hook, go underneath the first, pull the second one through. Hold everything there, and then do a chain 1, and this is going to complete your magic circle. Now we're going to do 6 single crochet into this ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pull your tail tight, close the circle off, and now into the first stitch we're going to do an increase. So we're going to increase into each stitch all the way around, so that'll give us a total of 12. So that's 2 single crochet, 1, 2 into each stitch all the way around. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so now we have 12 stitches all the way around. We are going to do, for round 3 and 4, just 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. So at this point, I'm just going to mark my round and do 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. So you're going to have 12 stitches at the end of round 4. So I'm going to meet you at the end of round 4. Here we are at the end of round 4. We have 12 stitches all the way around. For round 5, we will do 3 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, followed by a decrease into the next 2 stitches. We'll do that one more time. 3 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, followed by a decrease, and then we have 2 stitches remaining. We will do a decrease into the last 2 stitches, and that's going to give us a total of 9 stitches all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and our beginning one, 9. For round 6 to 8, we're going to do 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. So the next 3 rows, 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. You're still going to have 9 stitches at the end of round 8. I'm going to meet you at the end of round 8. This is what my piece looks like. We still have 9 single crochet all the way around. Now for round 9, we are going to do 2 single crochets, so 1 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the second stitch, followed by an increase into the third stitch. So that's an increase 1 and 2 single crochet into the third stitch. We're going to do that again. 2 single crochet, so 1 single crochet into the first, 1 single crochet into the second, 2 single crochet into the third, 1 and 2. And we're going to do that one more time. 1 single crochet into the first, 1 single crochet into the second, and into the last stitch here we're going to do 2 single crochet, 1 and 2. And that's going to increase us to 12 stitches all the way around. Now for rows 10 to 12, we're going to do 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. So you're still going to have 12 stitches all the way around at the end. So just 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around for rounds 10, 11, and 12. I'm going to meet you at the end of round 12. So here we are at the end of our arm. This is what my piece looks like at the end of row 12. Now we're just going to cut the yarn and create a second pair. So leave a tail for sewing. And we're going to create a second pair. And once you're done your 2 arms, we're going to move on to the next body part. For the next body part, we're going to be working on the muzzle. So we're going to start by chain 7. So create a slip knot, insert your hook into there, and chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now into the second chain from the hook. So here's the first chain from the hook, the second one. We're going to do a single crochet until the very end. So into the next 6 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to turn our work and work the underside of this chain. So we went this way, now we're going to go this way. Okay, so into the first one here, so you have 6 at the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The first one here, we are going to do a single crochet. So 1 single crochet into the 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last one 6. So at this point you're going to have 12 stitches all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and now we're just going to be working in the round once again. So this is a good way to create a piece that's more oval rather than round by doing this chain method. So now for round 2. For round 2, we're going to mark our round at this point. So take your stitch marker and mark it. And we're going to be working into the first stitch here. At this point, I'm going to be working in my tail as well. Do 1 increase into the first stitch. So that's 2 stitches into the first stitch, like that. Then you're going to do 4 single crochet. So 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. So that's 1. 2. I'm going to cut my tail. 3 and 4, followed by 1 increase into the next stitch. 1 and 2. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We are going to do 1 increase into the next stitch. 1, 2, 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And into the last stitch here, 1 increase. 1 and 2. Okay, and there's the beginning stitch of the round. So you should have 16 stitches all the way around. For round 3, we're going to do 1 single crochet into the first stitch, followed by an increase into the second stitch, 1, 2, and then we're going to do 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next stitch, followed by an increase into the next stitch, 1 and 2. We're going to repeat that one more time. 1 single crochet into the next stitch, followed by an increase, 1 and 2. Okay, now we're here. We're going to do 5 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the last stitch an increase, and that's going to finish the round. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, followed by in the last one, 1 increase, 1 and 2, like this. So we are going to begin with 2 single crochet, so 1, 2, followed by 1 increase, 1 and 2 are increase. Now we're going to do 4 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 single crochet, 1, 2, followed by an increase into the next stitch, 1 and 2, like that. Now we're just going to repeat that, 2 single crochet, increase, 1 and 2, followed by an increase. Now we're here. We are going to do 6 single crochet followed by an increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and increase into the last stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, followed by an increase. 1, 2. You should have 24 stitches all the way around. For round 5, we are going to do 3 single crochet. So into our first stitch, 1, second stitch, 2, the third stitch, 3, followed by an increase into the fourth stitch, 1 and 2. Now you're going to do 4 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, followed by 3 single crochet, 1, 2, and 3, and then an increase into the next stitch, 1 and 2. And then we're going to repeat that one more time. 3 single crochet followed by an increase, 1, 2, 3, and an increase into the fourth stitch. And then we are here. We will do 7 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, followed by an increase into the last stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, followed by an increase into the last stitch. 1 and 2, and you should have 28 stitches all the way around. Now for round 6 and round 7, they're going to be both the same. We're going to do 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. So at the end of round 7, you're still going to have 28 stitches. So keep doing 1 single crochet in each stitch for the next 2 rounds, and I will meet you at the end of round 7. So here we have the end of the muzzle. We're going to cut it off, leave a tail because we're going to sew it onto the head. At this point, if you find the muzzle too small for your head, maybe you overstuffed it too much, like me, then we're going to make a larger muzzle. And I'm going to show you how to create a larger version now. So for the larger muzzle, we're going to start off with chain 14. So take your slip knot, insert your hook, and begin to chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Then we're going to into the second chain from the hook, so 1, 2, 1 single crochet into each stitch back to the base. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, now we're going to work on this side of the chain. So turn your work and work this side. So we work this way, and now we're going to work this way. 1 single crochet into each of the bottoms of each of the chains. So that was 1. This is 2, 3, 4,
10, 11, 12, and 13.
So we have 13 on each side, which gives us 26. So for round 2, we're going to begin by an increase into the first stitch, followed by 1 single crochet into the next 11 stitches. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
and 11, followed by an increase into the 12th stitch. 1 and 2. Okay, we're just going to repeat that one more time on this side here, starting with an increase into the next stitch. 1, 2, 1 stitch into the next 11, 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
and 11, and into the last stitch we're going to do an increase. 1 and 2, like that. So at the end of row 2 you're going to have 30 stitches all the way around. For row 3 we're going to start off with a single crochet followed by an increase. 1 and 2. Then we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next 12 stitches. So 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
10, 11, and 12. Then we're going to do 1 increase into the next stitch, followed by 1 single crochet, followed by 1 increase into the next stitch. 1, 2. Okay, that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which we're going to do 1 single crochet into there, followed by an increase into the last stitch. So do 1 single crochet into the next 12 stitches. 2, 3, 4,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
and 12, and into the last stitch you want to do an increase. 1 and 2. So at the end of round 3 you have 34 stitches all the way around. We're going to begin with 2 single crochet, 1, 2, followed by an increase into the 3rd stitch. 1 and 2. Then we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next 13 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and
13. Then we're going to do an increase. 1, 2. Then we're going to do 2 single crochet. 1, 2, followed by an increase. 1, 2. Then we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next 13 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And to the last stitch you want to do an increase. 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
13, and your last stitch here you're going to do an increase. 1 and 2. And that's going to finish round 4. So at the end of round 4 you should have 38 stitches all the way around. For round 5 we're going to begin by 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches. 2 and 3. So 1, 2, 3, followed by an increase. 1 and 2. Then we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next 14 stitches. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
14, followed by an increase. 1, 2, then 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, followed by an increase. 1, 2, followed by 1 single crochet into the next 14 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 1 increase into the last stitch. 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
and 14, and into the last stitch 1 increase. 1 and 2. And that's going to leave you with 42 stitches all the way around. Now what we're going to do for row 6 and 7 is just 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around 6 and 7, and you're still going to have 42 stitches all the way around. So just 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. So do that for round 6 and round 7, and I will meet you at the end of round 7. So here I am after row 7. This is what my piece looks like. I started to embroider the nose, which I will show you right now, but in the meantime I cut my tail, left a long tail for sewing it in later, but first we are going to embroider. Take my needle, I'm going to do 3 rows above the center. So here's the center, 1, 2, 3 bumps above it, directly opposite of the corner. So here's the corner directly at the top, just going to go from the bottom up into there. Now I'm going to go in the middle here, down into it, like that. Now I'm going to go into the stitch previous to the one that I went into and come out of that one. Then I'm going to go to the next spot here, which is, here's the next spot on top of there. I'm going to go out from the stitch previous to the one that I went into. Then I'm going to go into the center here, 1, 2 stitches from the center. So 1 bump, 2 bumps here, go in. I'm going to go out the previous stitch. And I'm going to go into the center here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Go out the previous one. And go directly opposite here. 1, 2. Come out of the previous stitch and go back into the first stitch. Like that. So now we created our shape for the nose. Now all we're going to do is the same concept, just fill it in. And I'm just going to work horizontally all the way down to make sure that I cover up the nose fully. And once you're done with the nose, I will meet you. So let's begin with the ears now. So with the ears, we're going to start off with a magic ring. And we're going to do 6 single crochet into a magic ring. 1,
2, 3, 4,
5, and 6. Now we're going to pull it tight. We have 6 single crochet all the way around. We are going to do 2 single crochet into each stitch to increase it to a total of 12 all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now for round 3, we're just going to mark our place here. And for round 3, we're going to do 1 single crochet followed by an increase. And that's going to be the pattern all the way around. 1 single crochet followed by an increase into the next stitch. 1 and 2 all the way around. I'll meet you at the end of this round. At the end of round 3, you're going to have 18 stitches all the way around. For round 4, we're going to do 2 single crochet, 1, 2, followed by an increase into the third stitch. 1 and 2, and that's going to be the pattern all the way around. 2 single crochet, increase, and that's going to increase our stitches to 24 all the way around. I'll meet you at the end of round 4. Here we are at the end of round 4. We have 24 stitches all the way around. For round 5, 6, and 7, we're just going to do 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. Round 5, 6, and 7. So at the end of round 7, you're still going to have 24 stitches. I will meet you at the end of round 7. So here I am at the end of round 7. This is what my piece will look like. Now we're just going to take out our stitch marker, and we are going to make our tail shorter And then we are going to just sew it together. So we're going to squish it in half. Take your hook and go into the first stitch and into the next stitch like that. And we're just going to do a slip stitch to close it off, and into the next two and slip stitch, and the next two and slip stitch. Alright, so we're just going to keep slip stitching all the way across, and then we're going to cut it off and leave a tail for sewing, and then we will sew it onto the head. So you're going to make 2 ears that look like this. Now let's begin with the body. For the body, we are going to make a magic ring. So take your 2 fingers, yarn over once, twice, take your hook underneath the first, pull the second one through, and chain 1 to complete your magic ring. Now we're going to do 6 single crochet into this magic ring. So exactly how we've done before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then we're going to pull our tail tight like that. Now you have 6 stitches all the way around. We are going to do 2 stitches into each single crochet to increase. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, now we're going to attach our stitch marker and begin row 3. So row 3 to row 9 is going to be exactly how we did the head in terms of increasing the circle. So all you do, just to recap, is you do start with row 3, which is 1 single crochet followed by an increase. 1 single crochet, increase. 1 single crochet followed by an increase all the way around. And then for the next round, so at the end of row 3 you're going to have 18 stitches. For row 4 you're just going to increase the number of single crochets by 1. You're going to do 2 single crochet increase, and that's going to be your pattern all the way around. Row 5, 3 single crochet increase, and that's going to be the pattern all the way around. So it's exactly how we did before. So I'm going to have the pattern on the screen for you to follow. At the end of row 9 you're going to have 7 single crochet increase. That's going to be your pattern for row 9. And you're going to have 54 stitches at the end of row 9. Then once you're done that, for rows 10 to 21, so those 12 rounds, 10, 11, 12, etc. to 21, you're just going to do 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. So again, that pattern is going to be on the screen. So at the end of round 21, you're going to have 54 stitches. So I'm going to meet you at the end of round 21. We are at the end of round 21. This is what my piece will look like. I still have 54 stitches all the way around. Okay, now for round 22, we're going to do 7 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, followed by a decrease into the next 2 stitches. So remember the decrease, we go into underneath the front loop of the first stitch, underneath the front loop of the second stitch, pull loop through, 2 loops unhook, and over, pull through 2. And that's going to be the pattern all the way around. 7 single crochet, followed by a decrease into the next 2 stitches, and that's going to reduce us to 48 stitches at the end of this round. I will meet you at the end of this round. Here I am at the end of my round 22. This is what my piece looks like. Now for the final round, we're just going to do 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. So just 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. I will meet you at the end of this round. So here we are at the end. This is what my piece will look like. Now I'm just going to leave a tail for sewing. Now let's move on to the eyes. If you haven't used safety eyes, we are going to create our own eyes now. So we're just going to take some black yarn. For this purpose, I'm going to be showing you in the white just because it's easier to see. We're going to create a magic ring. And inside this magic ring, we're going to do 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That. Pull it tight, the tail, and we're just going to do an increase into each stitch all the way around. So that's 2 single crochet into each stitch all the way around, and we're going to increase it to 12 stitches all the way around. I will meet you at the end of this round. So here we are, I'm at the end. I have my 12 stitches, and that's going to complete our eye. So we're just going to cut it and create 2 of them, and you're going to have 2 eyes that look like this. Make sure you leave a tail for sewing. So here is my head, and I'm going to show you how to sew on your pieces now. So what we've created so far is the body, the 2 arms, the 2 ears, and the eyes, and the muzzle. So you're going to take your muzzle, and I just marked the spots with the string where it's going to be. It's between rows 22 to 31. You're going to sew it in. And if you have your safety eyes already in place, your safety eyes would be here and here in between. If you're like me and you haven't put on your eyes yet, we're going to put on the muzzle first. So if you have your eyes already on it, that's fine. Attach your muzzle in between the 2 eyes, between rows 22 and 31. If you're like me, we're going to do the eyes after. Place your muzzle onto the head, and you want to squish your head a little bit like this so you can see where the eye sockets will be and the nose part of the face. Attach your tail to your tapestry needle, and the way we're going to sew it is sideways. So not back and forth like this, rather sideways. So you're going to go into 1 stitch, pick up the stitch on the head, and go through the next stitch like this, and pull. Right? I'm going to show you again. Go into the next stitch down, pick up the second stitch on the head, and go through the next stitch on the muzzle, and pull through. And that's just how we're going to secure it. Okay, so you're going to go all the way around, and it also helps to mark the 2 spots with some string like I did, see there? On both sides, just so you know which stitch you have to sew it into. Okay, so we're going to sew on the muzzle like that. When you have the muzzle almost sewed on, we're going to stuff it inside here, sew the rest. For the eyes, we're going to do the same thing. You're going to attach the eyes between rows 25 and 26. So 25 and 26 are here, right there. So it's going to be before the cheeks. So here are the cheeks, before the cheeks. That's why you kind of want to squish it in here, into the socket here, before the cheeks, 25 and 26 on both sides. Now that we have the muzzle and the 2 eyes on, I'm going to shrink the nose part of the face just to give it some shaping. So I'm taking some string, and I'm taking it onto a tapestry needle, and I'm going in one side here. So right there, I'm going in. So 3, 2, 1, in and out the opposite side. Then I'm going to the next stitch, in, out here. Then the next stitch, in, out here. Then I'm going to pull. And as you pull, you can see that it pulls in the head like a bear's nose. See, it gives it some shaping. So you're going to give it some shaping. Once you're done shaping it, you're going to bring the yarn back into the head and out the same one that this first tail comes through. Tie it together and stick the tails into the head. Now, once I have the face in order the way I like it, I can take the tails and stick them in the head, but I just left them open right now just to make sure that the face is nice and good before I secure it permanently. Okay? You're going to attach the body before you do the ears. So we're going to do the ears after we do the body. So we're going to attach the body. So the way you do it is you don't want the head to be straight down like that. You want it to be tilted up so that the nose is straight. Because the nose originally, the way we positioned it, if it goes straight down, it's kind of like that. So we want to position it up and attach the body here so that the nose is facing forward. Okay, so position it properly, start sewing in your body, and then leave a little room here to add some stuffing at the end, and then finish sewing it together, and I will meet you once your body is attached. Now to attach the body, just a tip to help make it easier, the first thing I did was place the body onto the head and gave it a position that I wanted to be like that. Then I marked the top stitch here, just with a piece of string. You can use sewing pins if you like, but I just use string. And then I attached another piece at the bottom here, so the length. And then I attached one on the side and one on the other side to give me the sides of where I want the body to sit. So then I took it off and made sure that this side and this side matches with the muzzle so that it's even. Okay, and then now I'm just going to apply it onto it and start sewing. So here we are at the end of my body. I've attached the body to the head. Okay, this is what it looks like. And I finished sewing the eyes and the muzzle together. I tied up all the loose ends and stuck them into the head, and this is what my piece looks like so far. Okay, so now we're going to attach the ears. And the reason we did the ears right now at the end is because once we attach the body, we know the angle of the head. And so we can take the ear and we can attach it onto the head to make sure that it is matching the muzzle. So the muzzle matches this way. We make sure that the ears also align with that. See, if we put the ears directly straight, now they're on an angle like that, which we don't want. We want them matching the face here, going straight out. So we're going to attach the ears between rows 10 and 19. So here's row 10, I've marked it there. And we're going to just make sure that it's parallel to the muzzle, and 19, and then we're going to sew it in like normal, and we're going to do the same for the second ear, and the ears are going to end up looking something like that. Okay, so you play around with it, have it look nice for you, sew it in, and I'm going to meet you at the end of your ears.